Have you noticed your legs feeling heavier, weaker, or just not as reliable as they used to be? Maybe climbing stairs is starting to feel like a workout, or standing for a while leaves you sore and tired. What if I told you that the real reason behind this could be hiding in your daily routine, in the foods you eat, and even the vitamins you take, the ones you thought were good for you? This might sound unbelievable, but what you're about to learn could completely change how you see your health. In this video, I'm going to uncover the truth behind two specific vitamins that are secretly harming your leg strength, and a common eating habit that's quietly draining your energy and mobility. The worst part? These dangers are hiding in plain sight, in your kitchen, your snacks, and even your medicine cabinet. Every bite, every pill could be making things worse without you even realizing it. If your legs have been feeling off lately, sore, tired, or just weaker than usual, this might be the missing puzzle piece you've been looking for. And trust me, the vitamins I'm going to reveal will leave you shocked. You probably bought them thinking they'd help your bones or muscles, but they could be speeding up muscle loss and weakening your joints. By the end of this video, you'll finally understand what's really causing that nagging leg pain, stiffness, or swelling, and more importantly, how to stop it. So, if you want to stay strong, independent, and keep your legs healthy for years to come, stay with me. What you learned today could help you take back control of your strength. Let's start with something that seems harmless, even joyful: desserts. Sweet treats have always been a comfort, right? But after 60, those little indulgences might not be so sweet for your legs. Refined sugar, found in cakes, candies, cookies, and pastries, triggers inflammation in the body, especially in your muscles and joints. This makes your legs feel sore, tired, and more prone to injury. Over time, chronic inflammation can silently chip away at your muscle strength. Plus, sugar increases insulin resistance, which means your muscles can't use energy properly. Weak, energy-starved muscles quickly lose their function. And the more sugar you eat, the more weight you tend to gain, putting extra pressure on your legs and joints, which makes everyday movement harder and more painful. But that's not all. Sugar also damages circulation, cutting off vital oxygen and nutrients from your leg muscles. This slows healing, blocks recovery, and adds to that constant fatigue in your lower body. Add to that the lack of actual nutrients in sweets, like protein or magnesium, and you're looking at empty calories that strip your body of strength. Even that innocent slice of pie or a couple of cookies in the evening could be slowly weakening your legs. Many processed sweets are packed with artificial dyes and preservatives that worsen inflammation and throw off your body's natural balance. Combine that with sugar, and it's a recipe for leg pain and muscle loss. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up sweetness entirely. You can still enjoy desserts made with natural ingredients, like cinnamon-sprinkled fruit, or homemade treats with less sugar. Smart swaps like these keep your body and your legs happy. And if you think sweets are bad, wait until you hear what fried foods are doing to your legs. But the damage doesn't end with sweets. Let's talk about something else we often enjoy. Fried foods. Tempting, crispy, golden, and full of flavor. But what they do to your legs might surprise you. You see, fried foods like chicken nuggets, donuts, and French fries are packed with unhealthy fats that clog your blood vessels. These blockages slow down blood flow, which is a big deal. Why? Because muscles need a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients to stay strong. And blocked vessels make it harder for that to happen. Poor circulation means your muscles can't recover properly. They start to weaken, stiffen, and feel heavy. Think about it. Have you ever had a heavy meal full of fried foods and then felt like your legs were dragging, sore, or just tired? That's your body signaling distress. Fried foods also take a long time to digest. That process demands energy. Energy your body could have used to power and repair your muscles. Over time, this leaves you with tired, undernourished legs that can barely keep up with your day. And if you eat these foods often, the effects pile up fast. Your body gains weight, your joints take on more strain, and your legs suffer the most. With age, this becomes even more dangerous. Our bodies naturally lose muscle as we grow older, and fried foods just speed that up. Worst of all, these foods have almost no useful nutrients. They fill you up, but give your muscles nothing they actually need. They're empty fuel. If you want to stay active, climb stairs without help, and avoid falls, ditching fried foods is a game changer. Try switching to cooking methods like baking, steaming, or air frying. It may sound simple, but small changes like these can preserve your strength and keep you moving freely. Now, let's talk about something even more common. White bread. It might seem harmless, but this breakfast staple can quietly sabotage your leg health. White bread is made from refined flour that's been stripped of almost all its fiber and nutrients. What's left is a fast-absorbing carb that spikes your blood sugar. And when blood sugar levels shoot up and crash down regularly, your muscles suffer. That's because high sugar levels block proper energy use, which your muscles desperately need to stay strong. Over time, this leads to fatigue, muscle weakness, and even the loss of muscle mass, something that naturally happens as we age. But white bread accelerates it. Without enough fiber and protein, there's nothing in that slice to support muscle repair. So if you're eating white bread daily, especially with cheese, butter, or sugary spreads, it's slowly draining your energy and piling pressure on your already tired legs. And let's not forget, more sugar and fewer nutrients mean weight gain, and more weight equals more stress on your knees, hips, and ankles. That's a dangerous cycle. Weak legs, more pain, slower movement. It sneaks up meal by meal. The good news? You don't have to give up bread, just upgrade it. Go for whole grain options, especially ones made with oats, flax, rye, or fermented grains. These are packed with fiber and nutrients that not only fuel your muscles, but help your digestion and balance your blood sugar. Pair them with healthy fats like avocado or a protein-rich egg, and you've got a leg-friendly meal that actually builds you up instead of tearing you down. And we're just getting started. We've talked about sweets, fried foods, and even bread. But the real shocker is coming, because very soon I'll reveal the 2 vitamins you're probably taking right now, ones that you thought were protecting your body, but they could actually be breaking down your legs from the inside out. Before we dive into those, there's another major player that can silently sabotage your strength, especially after 60, alcohol. Alcohol might seem like a small indulgence, a glass of wine with dinner, or a drink to unwind. But after the age of 60, that simple drink can take a much heavier toll on your legs than you think. As we age, our bodies can't process alcohol as efficiently. That means it sticks around longer, causing more harm than before, especially to your muscles and joints. Without enough essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, our muscles lose their strength and bones become brittle. Alcohol strips the body of these nutrients, and that makes falls, fractures, and slow recovery more likely. It even blocks your muscles from repairing themselves after everyday activities like walking or climbing stairs. So you don't just feel tired, you stay sore longer and feel worn out faster. And that's not all. Alcohol causes dehydration, which tightens your muscles and leads to painful leg cramps. You might think it's just a bad night's sleep or just getting older, but that morning stiffness, that's alcohol working against your body. It also puts extra pressure on your liver, the very organ responsible for producing key compounds your tissues need to stay healthy. Add in the fact that most alcoholic drinks are high in empty calories and promote belly fat, and your legs are now carrying more weight with less strength. That's a recipe for pain, instability, and less movement. It becomes harder to stay active and easier to fall into a cycle of fatigue and weakness. Have you ever noticed waking up more sore and achy after a night of drinking? That's your body begging for relief. Regular drinking doesn't just cause short-term discomfort, it raises inflammation throughout your body. And inflammation is a silent killer of mobility. Over time, it makes physical activity feel like a burden, and your legs slowly give in to that pressure. And we're still not at the worst part. Because in just a moment, I'll finally reveal the 2 vitamins that are sneakily destroying your leg strength. The same ones most people take every day without a second thought. But before we get there, let's look at something else that hides in plain sight. Processed meats. They're quick, they're easy, and they're everywhere. Bacon, sausages, deli ham. But for your legs, they're a silent danger. These meats are loaded with sodium and chemicals that inflame your joints and muscles. That's why many people feel stiff and sore first thing in the morning. It's not just aging, it's what's on your plate. Processed meats also contain high amounts of saturated fats, which reduce blood flow and raise bad cholesterol. This leads to poor circulation, and your muscles don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need. Without those, your legs can't maintain strength or heal properly. Over time, they weaken. Everyday tasks like standing, walking, or climbing stairs start to feel harder and more painful. And it doesn't stop there. These foods overwork your liver and kidneys, making it harder for your body to flush out toxins. Those toxins build up and drain your energy. You feel heavier, slower, more exhausted, especially in your legs. Even worse, the preservatives in processed meats can mess with your blood sugar levels. That means your muscles get even less energy, and your legs feel tired before the day even starts. Sure, these foods are convenient, but at what cost? When you're over 60, every bite matters. Choosing better protein sources like eggs, chicken, fish, or lean cuts of beef can restore strength and stability in your legs. It doesn't take much. Swap sausage for a cooked egg, replace bacon with avocado, or use shredded chicken instead of ham. These small swaps can bring your legs back to life. You'll feel lighter, more stable, and more in control of your movement. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, instant noodles enter the picture. Yes, they're quick and easy. But behind that convenience is a nutritional nightmare. Instant noodles are mostly refined flour and artificial chemicals. That means you're eating a meal that's high in calories, but extremely low in what your muscles actually need, like protein, fiber, and key minerals. If this becomes a habit, your muscles will slowly break down, your mobility will shrink, and your energy will drain. One of the worst things about instant noodles? The sodium. One pack can give you more than half of your entire day's recommended salt intake in a single sitting. Too much salt causes your body to retain water, which leads to swollen, painful legs, and it also raises blood pressure, which reduces circulation. Less blood flow means less muscle support. The result? Legs that feel stiff, bloated, and fragile. But we're not done yet, because up next, finally, are the two vitamins that most people over 60 take without thinking. And they might be doing more harm than good. You won't want to miss this. When you grab a packet of instant noodles, it might feel like a harmless, quick meal. But what you're really feeding your body is weakness, especially in your legs. These noodles are made mostly of refined flour and loaded with artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives. That means you're giving your body empty calories. No fiber, no real protein, no minerals. Just energy that crashes fast, leaving your muscles undernourished, tired, and slow to recover. The result? That simple walk to the store feels like a mountain hike. Your legs feel heavy, sore, and drained. The flavor packets that come with these noodles are another red flag. They're packed with chemical additives, like MSG, artificial colors, and preservatives that silently trigger chronic inflammation. And inflammation, as you now know, is a major enemy of joint function and muscle strength. Over time, it leads to stiffness, pain, and reduced mobility. The very things you want to avoid as you get older. And because these noodles are low in fiber and high on the glycemic index, they spike your blood sugar. That wreaks havoc on your insulin levels, making it harder for your muscles to absorb and use energy efficiently. That's how weakness sets in. And that's why poor diet choices can turn even a simple day out into a struggle. But we're not done yet. 9. Industrial cakes. They smell like childhood and taste like celebration, but industrially made cakes, the ones from boxes or plastic packages, are one of the stealthiest enemies of a leg's strength. They're made with highly processed sugars, hydrogenated fats, and synthetic preservatives that completely disrupt your metabolism. Sugar interferes with insulin, adds unwanted body fat, and creates the perfect storm for muscle loss and weight gain. Over time, that means your legs carry more weight but have less strength to support it. Even worse, these cakes contain trans fats, which are used to boost taste and shelf life. But they do this by silently wrecking your blood flow. They lower your good cholesterol and raise your bad cholesterol, slowly starving your muscles of the nutrients they need to stay strong and firm. Without good circulation, muscles begin to deteriorate. You start losing lean mass. Your joints feel stiff, mobility shrinks, and you're caught in a cycle of discomfort, inflammation, and inactivity. These cakes are also loaded with emulsifiers, stabilizers, and food dyes, additives that weaken the immune system and raise inflammation in the joints. That means more discomfort, especially in your legs, and less motivation to stay active. Over time, that leads to even more muscle loss. And here's the kicker. They're empty calories. These cakes are high in sugar and fat, but contain almost none of the vital nutrients your muscles crave, like protein, calcium, and magnesium. That's like trying to run an engine on bad fuel. Your body starts breaking down instead of powering forward. But there's good news. You don't have to give up sweets altogether. You can bake your own cakes using whole grain flours, real fruit, and natural oils. The taste is still there, but so is the nutrition. Your muscles, your joints, and your future self will thank you. 8. Ultra. Processed cheeses. They're creamy. They melt just right, and they seem convenient. But spreads, cheese slices, and processed cheese blocks are masking serious threats to your leg health, especially after 60. These cheese products are packed with sodium and saturated fat, a double hit to your muscles and blood vessels. Sodium causes fluid retention and increases blood pressure. Saturated fats damage the flexibility of your arteries. Together, they make your legs feel bloated, stiff, and sore. It gets worse. These cheeses often contain preservatives and phosphates, which interfere with how your body absorbs two essential minerals, calcium and magnesium. These minerals are critical for strong muscle contractions and healthy bones. When they're out of balance, you feel it, in the form of joint pain, leg fatigue, and even nighttime muscle cramps. Because your legs contain the largest muscle groups in your body, they're often the first to show signs when something's wrong. And when these cheeses lack high-quality proteins, unlike natural or artisanal cheeses, your muscles aren't getting what they need to stay firm and strong. So you eat, but your body gets weaker. This loss of muscle is a leading cause of poor mobility. It's the reason some people start using a cane, avoid stairs, or even lose their independence. But you can make a change. Choose real cheese, aged naturally, with fewer additives. Pair it with high-protein, nutrient-rich foods. Your muscles don't just need fuel. They need the right kind of fuel. And with the right choices, your legs can stay strong for years to come. As we age, our bodies begin to reflect the quality of what we consume. Have you ever noticed how, after a meal full of processed food, your body feels sluggish and weighed down? That's not your imagination. It's your body responding to inflammation and mineral depletion. Processed foods rob your bones and muscles of the essential nutrients they need. Over time, this leads to weakness, fatigue, and a growing sense that everyday movement is becoming a challenge. A simple walk feels like a workout. Stairs seem steeper. What used to feel effortless now takes real effort. Yes, even the cheese on your toast plays a part. To support better leg health, replace ultra-processed cheeses with fresher, more natural alternatives like ricotta, cottage cheese, or even mayonnaise-based cheese spreads made with clean ingredients. These options provide nutrients without the additives that accelerate muscle and joint breakdown. And stay with me. The biggest discovery is still ahead. The two worst vitamins that silently weaken your legs. 7. Industrial ice cream. It's a sweet relief on hot days or a comforting end to a meal, but industrially made ice cream could be slowly sabotaging your legs. Loaded with refined sugar and saturated fats, most store-bought ice creams spike your blood sugar, then send it crashing down. These sharp swings in energy disrupt muscle function, leaving your legs tired, heavy, and more prone to cramping. And because ice cream's fats negatively impact cardiovascular health, blood flow to your legs becomes restricted. That's why you might feel numbness, tingling, or persistent cramps after indulging. It's your legs crying out for oxygen and nutrients that never arrived. Over time, this poor circulation weakens the muscles and increases your risk of falls and mobility loss, even though you thought you were just treating yourself. And it doesn't stop there. Artificial colors, emulsifiers, and thickeners in commercial ice creams worsen bodily inflammation, silently damaging joint and muscle tissue. They also disrupt digestion and hormone balance, blocking your ability to absorb essential nutrients for strong legs and bones. The result? A dessert that feeds inflammation and weakness, instead of strength and stability. 6. Milk chocolate. It's a daily pleasure for many, but for people over 60, regular consumption of milk chocolate may do more harm than good, particularly to your legs. Why? Because it's often packed with sugar and saturated fats, a combination that directly fuels inflammation and undermines joint health. The low cocoa content in commercial milk chocolate means you're missing the natural antioxidants found in dark chocolate, the very compounds that help support circulation and muscle recovery. Instead, you're left with preservatives, artificial sweeteners, and emulsifiers that strain your liver and pancreas. These organs are crucial in nutrient processing and muscle repair. And when they're overwhelmed, your legs are the first to feel the consequences: weakness, soreness, and reduced stamina. Simple sugars in milk chocolate are rapidly absorbed, triggering insulin spikes that rob your muscles of steady energy. For anyone already struggling to preserve muscle mass, this is a recipe for rapid decline. Even more troubling is how milk chocolate contributes to abdominal fat. That extra belly weight puts more pressure on the knees, hips, and ankles, accelerating joint wear and making every movement harder. But not all chocolate is the enemy. High cocoa dark chocolate, eaten in moderation, can actually improve vascular health, support circulation, and provide flavonoids that protect your muscles. The key is choosing wisely and enjoying in moderation. 5. Canned foods. They're convenient, budget-friendly, and seem harmless, but many canned goods hide ingredients that can seriously compromise leg health as you age. Most canned products are preserved using chemical additives like sodium benzoate, nitrites, and excessive salt, all of which fuel inflammation and impair both muscle and vascular health. These chemicals don't just stay in your system, they stress your liver and kidneys, reduce blood flow, and slow muscle repair. Over time, this leads to fatigue, swelling, and weakness in your legs. And once your legs begin to struggle, your entire independence is at risk. The high sodium content in canned foods also promotes fluid retention, especially in the lower limbs. That's why regular consumption often results in swollen, stiff, and painful legs. It's your body's way of telling you that something isn't right. But here's the good news: there are better options. Whenever possible, choose fresh, frozen, or low-sodium canned foods without added preservatives, and always read the label. The fewer the ingredients, the better for your legs and overall mobility. 4. Filled cookies and processed snacks. They're a quick bite with your afternoon coffee or a convenient treat when hunger strikes. But filled cookies and processed snacks are among the most damaging foods for leg health in later life. Why? Because these ultra-processed products are loaded with artificial ingredients, including synthetic dyes, flavor enhancers, preservatives, and stabilizers. These substances put a heavy burden on the liver and kidneys, the very organs responsible for detoxifying your body and regulating nutrient absorption. And they offer little in return: low in fiber, minerals, and quality protein, but high in sugar, sodium, and hydrogenated fats. These foods create a perfect storm of inflammation, nutrient depletion, and poor circulation. For older adults, that means faster loss of muscle mass, reduced stamina, and a growing dependence on others for everyday tasks. The trans fats in these snacks are especially dangerous. Not only do they clog arteries, but they also limit the supply of oxygen-rich blood to your leg muscles. The result? Pain, fatigue, and instability, often described as legs that feel wobbly or unreliable. As if that weren't enough, the high sodium content causes fluid retention, worsening swelling and discomfort in the lower limbs. With time, this sets the stage for varicose veins, chronic pain, and poor balance, all stemming from what seemed like a harmless snack. What's worse, these foods trigger blood sugar spikes, followed by sharp crashes which rob your muscles of steady energy. The result is a dangerous cycle of fatigue, weakness, and cravings that only dig the hole deeper. But the solution can be simple. Swap processed snacks for homemade options, natural granola bars, or fruit and nut mixes with no additives. This one change can offer your muscles real nourishment and your legs real relief. 3. Flavor enhancers and industrialized seasonings. From instant noodles to powdered soups, meat broths, and frozen entrees, monosodium glutamate, MSG, is hiding in many industrial foods, and its effects go far beyond flavor. For people over 60, this additive can be particularly harmful. While it stimulates your taste buds, it also disrupts the nervous system, alters appetite regulation, and contributes to chronic inflammation, all of which interfere with muscle health and joint function. One of the most concerning impacts of MSG is its tendency to overstimulate receptors, leading to symptoms like headaches, muscle tension, cramps, and even dizziness, all of which can increase the risk of falling. Over time, regular exposure to MSG and similar additives has been linked to slower muscle recovery, reduced endurance, and higher levels of oxidative stress in the body. For legs already dealing with aging-related muscle loss, this is like adding fuel to the fire. These highly processed seasonings also typically contain excess sodium, refined sugars, and starch-based fillers, which further burden your cardiovascular system, leading to swelling, stiffness, and sluggish blood flow in the limbs. And here's the real danger. Because these flavor enhancers are designed to be addictive, you may not realize just how much you're consuming until the damage is done. Even healthy-looking soups or meats can hide this silent threat. But there's hope, and it's in your kitchen. Cooking with fresh herbs, garlic, onion, lemon, and natural spices not only elevates taste, but supports your body's natural repair mechanisms. It's not just a better choice for your palate, it's a smarter one for your legs. 2. Excess vitamin A. Vitamin A plays a crucial role in maintaining vision, immunity, and skin health. But too much of it, especially from supplements, can silently damage your muscles, particularly in the legs. As we age, the body's ability to process and eliminate excess vitamin A diminishes. This increases the risk of a condition called hypervitaminosis A, where the vitamin builds up to toxic levels, particularly in the liver and joints. One of the most common and most overlooked signs of this toxicity is muscle pain, especially in the legs and lower back. People often mistake it for joint issues or spinal problems, but the root cause may actually lie in vitamin overload. Excess vitamin A inflames muscular tissue, leading to weakness, fatigue, and difficulty with everyday actions like climbing stairs or rising from a chair. It also interferes with the absorption of calcium and magnesium, two minerals that are vital for muscle contraction and relaxation. Without these minerals, your legs may begin to cramp, twitch, or feel unusually tired. Over time, this can lead to loss of muscle mass, slower recovery from exertion, and an increased need for assistance with basic tasks. Another critical effect of too much vitamin A is bone demineralization, especially in weight-bearing areas like the hips, knees, and legs. For older adults with osteopenia or osteoporosis, this dramatically raises the risk of fractures, even from minor falls. To avoid these dangers, never take vitamin A supplements without medical advice. Most people get plenty from their diets. Foods like liver, egg yolks, carrots, and pumpkins provide ample amounts. Taking more through enriched products or high-dose supplements often does more harm than good. 1. Excess vitamin D. Often praised for supporting bones and immunity, vitamin D is one of the most recommended supplements for adults over 60. But just like with vitamin A, too much of a good thing can turn harmful fast. Vitamin D toxicity, known as hypervitaminosis D, usually results from excessive supplementation, not natural sources like sunlight or food. When this vitamin accumulates in the body, it disrupts calcium balance, leading to muscle pain, weakness, and in some cases, difficulty walking. In the legs, this imbalance often causes heaviness, cramping, and stiffness, particularly during movement. High levels of vitamin D signal the body to absorb more calcium from food. But when calcium builds up too much, it may settle in soft tissues like muscles and arteries rather than strengthening bones. This can lead to vascular stiffness, reduced circulation, and poor muscle oxygenation, which accelerates fatigue and increases the risk of falls and injury. Hypervitaminosis, D, can also cause symptoms like nausea, dehydration, and kidney strain, which indirectly affect muscle performance. And the damage can be subtle. Many people only realize something is wrong when basic activities like walking short distances become noticeably harder. The truth is, vitamin D needs vary by individual, and what's helpful for one person may be excessive for another. Always consult a healthcare professional before supplementing, and monitor your blood levels if you're taking it regularly. Most importantly, remember this: sunlight and balanced food intake, including fatty fish, fortified dairy, and eggs, are usually sufficient for maintaining healthy vitamin D levels without risking overdose. Aging doesn't have to mean weakness or immobility, but what we eat and supplement plays a decisive role. Many foods and habits marketed as normal can quietly chip away at your leg strength, balance, and independence. With informed choices, like swapping processed foods for whole ones and watching supplement dosages, you give your body the tools it needs to stay strong, mobile, and pain-free for years to come. Would you like a clean PDF or article-style layout of this full list for sharing or printing? 1. Excess vitamin D. Often seen as a champion for bone health and immunity, vitamin D can become a hidden threat when consumed in excess, especially after age 60. Unlike water-soluble vitamins, vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it accumulates in the body's adipose tissue. When taken in high amounts without medical guidance, it can lead to hypercalcemia, an elevated level of calcium in the blood. The symptoms: stiffness in the legs, burning sensations in the muscles, cramps, and joint pain. These issues arise because high calcium levels interfere with neuromuscular signaling, disrupting the electrical impulses that control movement and coordination. Another dangerous effect of excessive vitamin D is the calcification of soft tissues. This means that calcium can settle where it doesn't belong, such as in the muscles, tendons, and arteries. As a result, areas like the knees, calves, and thighs may become rigid, inflexible, and sore during activity. A vitamin that's meant to protect becomes a source of restriction and discomfort. For older adults, this can be especially harmful. The risk of falls, loss of balance, and reduced mobility increases, often without realizing the supplement meant to help is actually causing harm. Additionally, vitamin D in large doses stresses the kidneys, which regulate mineral balance. Poor kidney filtration leads to fluid retention, edema in the legs, and further muscular discomfort. It creates a vicious cycle: more vitamin D, more calcium, reduced kidney function, more leg issues. That's why vitamin D supplementation should always be based on blood tests and professional guidance. Many people assume more is better, but with fat-soluble vitamins, too much can be just as harmful as too little. If you're experiencing muscle pain, weakness, or stiffness, especially in your legs, and you're supplementing without medical oversight, it's time to reevaluate. Your legs carry you through life, literally. Every bite, every supplement, every habit shapes your mobility, independence, and freedom as you age. Avoiding processed foods, regulating supplement use, and choosing whole, nourishing ingredients helps your body stay strong, stable, and energized. If you've made it this far, You're already on the path to better health. And there's more to learn. Subscribe to the channel to keep receiving clear, evidence-based videos that improve your quality of life. The video now playing on your screen shows the 3 essential vitamins every diabetic should take. Click it now to keep learning. Until next time, take care of your legs, and they'll take care of you.